Hello folks, this is Colonel Failure and this is Cities Skylines, and interesting amounts of progression are being made. Where shall I back up to? Let's not back up to there, let's back up to here. The story so far. We built this marvellous hydroelectric dam. It is marvellous. In fact, if I've paid for this water pump, I might as well. Why are you saying you're not connected? Oh, we're not quite producing enough. I've been tinkering with my budget lately in order to try and save a couple of pennies here and there. Right, yes. So we built this simply amazing hydroelectric. So there you go. Now you've got your life in gear. We built this marvelous hydroelectric dam in the hope of providing clean and effective power for all of mankind. Sadly, what we hadn't taken into account was that there's a valley here, and the water went. We'll just zip through there, and in so doing, flooded this nice area that I had been building. And as you can see, it's not quite done yet. Still more flooding to be done. So before I take to that with a bulldozer, I'm just going to wait and see how bad it gets. Good times. So, I still had aspiration to build something slightly more dramatic, slightly more obviously human designed. So we built this circle last time around, and that's magic. And since you've been away, I've kind of connected the rest of it up. So the theory that we are exploring is that actually, if you provide multiple routes to a destination, you shouldn't end up with too many traffic problems. Lo and behold, multiple routes to multiple destinations. The only one that's lacking, really, at the moment is this one here, and that exists all the way around here, although this roundabout will help a little. So, as you can see, we've got traffic flowing up here already, which is, brill. And we'll have more. Actually, I haven't quite finished yet, have I? Let's put another little... Oh, no, let's do something a lot more entertaining than that. Let's kill all of this. You're gonna like this. Well, I like it. And then we'll. So this is actually this is two-way road that we're using here. I've after various dalliances with one-ways, I'm now all about the two-way streets. I think they are the future. I think there is much to commend of them. Okay, terrific. We'll see how that pans out. We'll see how widely used it gets. So, obviously, no one's moved in here yet. We've got a few more bits to set up. And what I haven't quite figured out yet is where I'm going to get my power from. I don't want to independently power it unless I absolutely have to. I'd rather put it on the main grid. Okay, let's draw from here. It's going to be the best way to go. Draw from here. We'll try and go underneath the. Well, that's a plan that's fallen on its backside quickly. No, don't. You're still good. We'll go down here, across a bit, and bash into there, and subsequently onto this station. Okay, cool. Now, I'm hoping that that's a relatively temporary measure and that we'll be able to delete some of these pylons, but they will do the job for now. Now, we've got nice, fresh, clean, unadulterated water going on here, unlike this section down there, which is polluted to hell and indeed back. So I think we'll pump ourselves some brand new water. We'll help ourselves here. I would have thought you'd be in range of one of these. Evidently, that is not the case. Down one. Fill your boots. Okay, so I'm hopeful that one pump will suffice for the time being. Let's give you multiple angles of attack. And so my hope today is to be able to fill in this area with some zoning, get some people moving in, started making some cash. Now, the old town has seen a fluctuating population over recent episodes. We topped out at about 110,000 people living in the city, and then while I was tinkering around with roads here, that dropped to 60,000. In fact, I think it dropped as low as 40,000 at one point, and it's now building back up again. And the problem always seems to come about when people start dying. People start dying, and everyone's complaining about them dying, and we dispatch hearses and shove corpses into crematoriums as quickly as possible, but it doesn't seem to keep up with the amount of demand for the disposal of the dead. Yeah, I'm building this in a zigzaggy fashion. See if I care. It's underground. As soon as I get out of this tool, nobody will know, and nobody will be any the wiser. Actually, I'm not quite done. Not quite done. We're going to also, we'll stick our waste outlet pipe about there. In fact, let's put a water treatment effort in there and hook that up to this pipeline. I'm not completely clear on what the water treatment plant does, how it actually manifests the treatment of polluted water. Over time, I'm sure I'll figure it out, but currently I am none the wiser. Now, that should power both of you chaps. It would if we were providing enough power. Alright, crank the budget a little bit more. How's that looking? There you go, look. Okay, so that's now 2 stations that are properly powered up. Shall I'll do the others as well, just so they work. So this is, as much as this looks quite nice, it's also a test case for, is it possible to build a, I've changed my mind though, is it possible to build a district that has utterly smoothly flowing traffic? I've got to power it. It might be a bit ugly to start with, but it needs to happen. Obviously, I will delete those pylons as we go. However, that should now juice him up. Juiced. Okay. Now for the exciting part. Do I want to road those in a little bit more? Let's have a quick look at how much zonable space we've got there. Yeah, we definitely want to build in a few more here. So at the moment, I'm not entirely certain that these tiny little roads are going to completely cope with the demand coming out from for traffic, but that's partly why we're doing this. See just how much these little roads can cope with. You happy with that? No, that's all right. Actually, you could have done that better. Oh well, it doesn't need to be better. It's organic. There you go. You, feel free to use that excuse for yourselves. If it's not flawless, it's because it's organic. How's that look? No. Let's at least put a half-hearted stab at trying to get it broadly similar. Let's go for there. Okay, right. So we've got stations that take people everywhere, right? So that's public transport. It's not nailed, but you know, that's public transport moving in the right direction. We want to get, let's get some services built into our thinking, and obviously alongside the rail would be a good place. Right, let's get a dump anywhere it will fit. Alright, 1 times dump. And then opposite 1 times dump, we'll put 1 times hospital. That way, leftover bodies can be dumped in the hospital. And we'll get a... I don't know, you're trying to put all services in one place again. Alright, well, let's do you over the other side then. We'll put the graveyard over this side. Right about there. and a crematorium next door. Alright, that's those. Next, a fire station. That gives full circuit coverage. And then a police station. Now, you know, I'm spending quite freely here, but all being well, this will pay off. And then a little education. Well, we might need. Oh, well, hold on. Let's decide where we're putting our residential area. This feels kind of residentially to me. All right. Well, how about we zone it up and we'll see what we get out of that. Okay. Now, any of these idiots that move in are immediately going to start griping about a lack of power. But, you know, that's what these people do. In fact, you know, what I don't want to put here, I don't want to zone that bit just yet. Let's get this going. Here we go. Some trailblazing personages moving in. Right. The bandbox tool would probably be quicker, or the fill tool, but this will do. Take a moment or two. Just reflect while we build. Not that bit, thank you. Okay, grand. Right, okay, so they're going to gripe about power because that's all they know how to do. In the middle, we will put offices. This is all going to be offices around here. I don't know how successful this is going to be, given the irregular shaping of this zone. But let's see how we get on. Okay, and then over here we're going to have industrial. Now, this means that industrial is in fact closest to the exit area, to the streets and the highways. So maybe some of these big trucks that end up coming out of here are going to be successful in terms of evacuating the city. In fact, while I've got a train line here, if I were to actually hook that up to an external link somewhere, then potentially we could link that up to a train goods yard as well. But let's see if we get any movement here at all to start with. Now, I'm not completely block filling these in right now. As you can see, you know, the middle of each of these wedges, I guess, is currently empty. Now, I could easily thread an extra little street through the middle there to fill those out. But for the moment, I'm going to see what happens, basically, if I leave it more or less as is. I'm going to resist laying down any more pylons until I absolutely have to. Right, round the perimeter here, we're going to put retail, commercial. There you go. Right. Yeah, let's put some more in here as well. This will be a commercial area. Okay, so, you know, right now our kind of zone demand is actually, you know, negligible. There's no demand for anything at the moment. Come on, use a little bit of care and attention when you're filling this out. But, you know, all being well, that will change. Even if it means that from our main city area, people, you know, move out in the thinking that this new area is going to be so much more lovely and there's prosperity and jobs waiting for them. You know, that'll do. But given the ebb and flow of demand in the city anyway, I would expect to get a sizable amount of people moving in here before too long. At least, I hope a sizable amount of people move in here before too long. Right, okay, so what have we got? Basically, if I want to fill out all of it, I'm going to need residential across the board, aren't I? In which case, I'm definitely leaving too much space there. But we can worry about that a little bit later when we start to bulldoze people. So basically 50% of this new district is residential, the other 50% is Sorry, I thought that was blue there for a moment. The other 50% is places of work. Okay, excellent. And that means we'll make this one. What do we want? More factories, more industrial, half and half, half and half. Half, really? Sure about that? Let's bang in. Let's bang in offices here. That's kind of a... In fact, no, let's do it this way. Let's put offices in there. And in here. There we go. Yeah, right. And then we'll put a little bit more commercial in the middle. All right. Terrific. Fabulous. Now, I need people to move in so that all this can be powered, please. To be honest, people moving near the stations will help with that. Let's get a train service running. Can I remember how to get a train service? Yes, you put a train line in. Right, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Bosh. That's 1. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Bosh. All right, 2 lines. Terrific. That could be a sight to see if they start running. There we go. There's a train, and there's some people, you know, potentially wanting to get on the train. Now, if this takes off, I think what I'll probably do. Let's go for some top speed here. If this takes off, I'll probably put bus services in to route people towards those trains. Maybe metro services as well. Well, that's pretty excitable. How many people you got on board? None. Brilliant. Love it. Anybody? Nope, not so much. Okay, so in order to kind of accelerate people moving in here, we want to improve the perceived value of it. So let's get a school or 2 in play. Just make sure I'm looking at the residential first. Right, what do we got? Okay, so if the residential extends, where does it extend to? It extends around here. Then no, don't give me the wiggly road. Give me the straight road. If you use the straight road, you get a better sense of being able to snap to different grid areas. Right. Let's. Now that's actually not going to help very many people, is it? So we put it this side, and we should generate, well, potential smiley faces, and then we're going to need another one over here somewhere. Where are we? So about here. Yep, that looks adequate. And then we'll bang a high school somewhere in the middle. Which makes lots of people happy. And then let's stick some parks up. What are you? Oh, that's fun. Yeah, alright, so side street parking. I'll show that off at some point. That's a kind of a pre-built mod that I've downloaded, and it's really quite something. What should we have? Well, given the crime wave at the Bouncy Castle Park, I'm reluctant to put one of those in. So let's go with a basketball park here. Which made those chaps happy. In fact, that's about as happy as I can afford you people to be. Now, move in. What have we got going on traffic-wise? Well, there's not enough people in there at the moment to really get a good judgment on it. This will fill out once demand shoots up, but of course, you know, hanging around until demand actually does that is time-consuming. Excuse me. Meanwhile, what's our passenger count at the moment? Passengers serviced in the last week, 2. Brilliant. Worth every penny. And, you know, let's say that I decide to replicate this. So, you know, we've got the same space here. I could build exactly the same design over here and then link the rails between the two and have them shuttling back and forth, which could be quite entertaining. How is this this kind of madness section we've got going on here? I'm starting to think that maybe having this two-way was a terrible idea. Well, there's traffic lights everywhere. I mean, it possibly prevents... We'll see. I mean, we won't know for sure until we've got maximum traffic running on here. As on a typical roundabout, you end up getting traffic snarling up in one direction going around the roundabout, and very few people using the inner loop to get to where they're going faster. So the thinking is that, you know, running it in both directions potentially means that while you get stops to allow people to use the traffic lights, like now, that is, if people were to abide by the traffic lights. Oh, I see. It's because it's the priorities that are making that happen. Okay, fair enough. Where are you going? Well, hey, oi, you, sunshine. Where the hell are you off to? I don't want you going into the main town to pick up rubbish. You should have enough to deal with here. There we go. And in that moment that I've been looking at a bit of traffic, we've got some pickup going on. Okay, I'm going to play forward a little bit while you are elsewhere, and all being well, this will continue to fill out at the kind of pace it is doing at the moment. Now, again, I still think that it's going to be removing demand from over in the smog-ridden hellhole where everybody's griping about rubbish again. Let's crank the garbage budget. I don't want to crank that garbage budget. It always seems so wasteful. What are we doing? Water's fine. Power's okay. And you crank the garbage budget and all that happens is you snarl up every street with garbage trucks. It just seems so pointless. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. What are we going to do next? Well, this will have been fully developed by the time you turn up, or maybe I'll turn up a little sooner. But I am tempted to build almost an identical design over in this area. Let's get off one of these overlays here. An almost identical design over here and see how we can integrate that. And the one thing I do know is that fitting these loose ends of highways, actually fixing them up to something, could make for some further entertainment. But who knows? Anyway, thanks very much for watching today. Leave a subscribe, like if you haven't done already. No, you've got those the wrong way around. You're supposed to tell people to like this one. In fact, if you were going all Call of Duty with it, you'd go like, pound that like button! Boom! Ha ha ha! Headshot, like button. Yeah, and subscribe, homies. You know where it's at. Wear your baseball cap backwards. I'll catch you on the flip side. Colonel Failure doing one.